Hi Laura, welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And the first one, you come from a very techie background. You're known as the digital power person, whatever. So there seems to be a constant battle and debate about which is more important, data and tech or creativity. So what's your point of view?
I think they are both incredibly important.
Yeah.
Creativity has to be kept at the core of everything that we do. I think the problem where people feel like there's a disconnect is when the data and the tech is used without the creativity. You know? So you fall into that kind of churn of making stuff that actually doesn't do very much, or you know, these incremental changes, and the creativity is pushed out, and I think that's wrong. But also, you know, I think you can get so much from both technology, which is always exciting, always new, always changing, always, you know, taking you to new places. But data in particular is super important for, you know, for insight. And the way that we can gather insights now is so much more nuanced and so much more interesting than what we could, you know, before we had big data. So
right. So if you deliver something that's personalized to somebody, but it's an uninteresting message.
This is the problem, right? Is that everyone goes, oh, personalization, and yes, that works. But it doesn't work as well as personalization with creativity, and people, you know, that bit gets forgotten, I think. But I work very closely. We've got an amazing data analyst at work, and I work with him very closely creatively, and he will find not only a great needle in a haystack, but be able to put that into a really exciting starting point for creativity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me, like, my opinion, and I'm not the only one, is that for 10 years, like we had the Mad Men era. Then we had the money men era. Like one single person giving 90% of all the statements of the industry and only talking about money and his stock price.
Yes.
So what do you think will happen next?
Well, you know what? I think we're in an interesting time. Advertising is completely changing. I wonder whether those big businesses are going to be able to change fast enough to really still continue doing exciting work. And I think it's a great opportunity for the likes of you and me and other, you know, more adventurous agencies out there to do something different, you know, to think beyond advertising, to try new things, to, you know, to try new revenue models. Like we've got the flexibility to be able to, you know, go out there and try things out. So I think, you know, we, I hope, at an advantage, because it's been, you know, quite a brutal, the last few years has been sort of quite brutal in terms of like independent agencies or small different thinkers being eaten up by big networks, and I really feel like that can change. I also feel like there is a long way to go in terms of inclusion, diversity and inclusion in the industry, but there are some like little green shoots. I think we talk too much about it, we don't do enough to change it. You know, certainly you look around here in Cannes and there are more women here, but there are no people of, you know, hardly any people of colour. And you know, you've got disability and you've got age, you know, all of these kinds of things that come into it. So I would like to see a more well-rounded industry as well. Cannes is best and the worst of the industry.
Absolutely.
All stuck together. I love it and hate it.
Well, since you are known as an active spokesperson for diversity, if there was one thing that needs to be done, like this year, we still have half a year left, what would that thing be?
That's a really good question. I think there needs to be an understanding that the little things matter, like language matters, how if you speak over the top of someone it matters. I think if everyone could stop and look around them and just consciously think like who's missing from this space, just being conscious of that I think will help to change things. So yes, we've got, you know, amazing representation of women or amazing LGBT representation in this group, but like who's missing, what have you? And I think that being conscious of that.
By the way, just out of interest, like, how do I know? I'm not supposed to ask in a recruiting interview, what's your sexual preference?
No, I mean, you can't. You can't ask.
Yeah.
There is.
I don't think that's going to be on the text. Okay, now amongst all this, like the tech giants, the media giants, the holding companies, now the consultants coming in, then the networks and all this, is there a role for creative clubs in all of this?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think there's more than ever a role for creative clubs. Number one, just to keep creativity alive in the face of big business. To inspire each other, to have strength in numbers creatively. I mean, I think everyone would agree that creativity has been getting quite a lot of hard knocks. As I said, tech is kind of running rampant in a bad way and like leaving creativity behind. So I think there is that role also to be the advocate for creativity and how important it is that you have to have both.
Yes.
To really stand for that. And also to encourage like the next generation of founders or creatives to come through and do their own thing, because it would be a very sorry state of affairs if we just stayed with the big networks and there was no one coming up underneath.
Is there one single or two single persons you would like to, now that we live in the post-Sorrel or interim Sorrel era, that would stand up and become the spokesperson for the industry?
I mean, I think there are a number of really interesting spokespeople in the industry, but certainly to have someone like a bit younger and with a creative heart, I think. I think that's what we need.
Absolutely. Okay, and then for 2019, what would be your wish for the advertising business?
I just remembered as well, because I think actually that might be my wish. I think the wish for the advertising business is that we're a little bit more open. I think creativity doesn't exist in a bubble in advertising or in design or wherever, and actually to connect creative people from all different walks of life.
Absolutely. Like actually, couple of issues back, Fast Company listed the 100 most creative people in the world, and I don't think there was one single advertising person.
No.
So maybe we should cooperate with some other, and maybe we should even open the clubs for other disciplines as well.
I think that's really interesting, and I think there's a job for all creative people, and for the clubs maybe just to be a bit more mischievous as well, like a little bit more naughty, just push creativity a little bit more, don't play by the rules so much.
Thanks. Is there something you would like to pick up here?
No, just I guess going back to your sort of point around sort of diversity. And I think there is too much talk. There is a lot of talk here in Cannes about diversity and inclusion, and very few things that are actually happening here to change it. And I would love to see just more people who are passionate about whatever kind of diversity it is to like pick up that mantle, to like go and run with it and see what they can do. We've got a really good showcase tomorrow called The Vows. It's a showcase of best women's work from around the world, and that was just started over a cocktail with a woman who runs a film festival in New York. We met, and within 20 minutes we were going, right, we're going to do this film festival. Let's go hire a cinema. Let's go, and I think it's a lot easier than what you think to go and make change.
How do you find all the time for your sort of besides work activities, your voluntary
I think when you're passionate about something, you find the time. Also, my entire agency, like Mr. President, is built around trying to leave a good impact in the world, and so I'm able to kind of work around that. But it's hard work, but it kind of has to be. done, right?
Yeah,
So,
right. How many people do you have in this
40 people.
And how diverse is that?
We're pretty diverse actually. We have probably the only creative department in London with slightly more, I think we've got like 55%, 60% women, which is amazing. We are at board level very diverse in a number of different ways. You can always do better, but it's something that we take really seriously, and I think people have to get out of this habit of thinking that having a diverse team or focusing on diversity means that somehow your team won't be as good. That's totally not true. You hear it all the time, like, but if I've got to hire people because they're diverse, I should just hire the best people for the job, not realizing that meritocracy is gendered. There's a lot of problems with meritocracy.
Okay, thanks for coming. Thanks for answering the questions and giving your opinions. And hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
This is actually probably outside the interview, but
yes.
When you say that last year I did a small video in Martinez, first I speak to the camera, I say, I forgot to edit it because I forgot all about it, but first I say, we're in Cannes, this is the epicenter of advertising, and this is the Martinez bar, which is the epicenter of Cannes. Yes. And I'm going to show you something, and then I start walking through the bar and to the loos, and there's a line of 50 people to the men's loo, and nothing in the women's. So I should have done that and entered it here. Yeah.